Login process. You can access Promio.connect via the URL at www.promio-connect.com/login. To log in to your client, enter your 5-digit company ID, your username and your password. After that, click on Login to start the login process. If configured for you, you can secure your login with an additional 2-factor authentication. The administrator responsible in the client can configure this additional method for you. As an alternative login process to a username and password, a single sign-on login functionality can also be set up for your client. If you have forgotten your password, click on Forgot Password to have your login details sent to you. After entering your login information, click on Login. Then enter your 2-factor code, if required. This is generated via a 2-factor code app, which you can link to your account during configuration. Dashboard Overview. After logging in, you will see the Promio.connect dashboard. This gives you an initial insight and overview of the most important key figures that are recorded in Promio.connect. Each key figure is clearly displayed in a tile. The percentage value and the absolute value of a key figure are shown. The arrow indicates the development of the key figure. You can display the value of the previous period by hovering over it with the mouse. Each tile also offers a detailed view, which you can call up for more information by clicking on the tile. The key figures are divided into the categories Performance, Reputation, and Addresses. The dashboard itself can be configured at the top right. Filters can be set here for newsletters or clients, as well as a time period and channels to be displayed. Overview of menu areas. You will find the Promio.connect main menu on the left-hand side. This is divided into the main areas Reporting, Delivery, Addresses, Content, and Settings. Above the menu, you have further icons that you can use to access functions. Starting from the left, these are Management, Calendar, Notifications, and the Help area. If your client is embedded in a client structure and has subclients, you can click in the small box with your username and the current client to see all clients that are subordinate to your client and easily switch to these clients with one click. Details of menu areas. Now let's take a look at the menu areas in detail. Reporting. In the Reporting menu, you will find all information on sent campaigns and evaluation options. Campaigns. In the Campaigns area, you will see a list of all campaigns sent. A sent campaign is displayed in each line, which you can open by clicking on a line. After clicking, the campaign reporting opens, which you can use to evaluate your campaign in detail. Views. The Views menu item allows you to compare separate campaign reports quickly and easily. For example, quarterly or monthly reports can be easily created. Controlling. The Controlling menu area allows you to define targets for your key figures and view them over the course of the campaign dispatch. This allows you to conveniently manage and keep an eye on your campaigns and actively control key figures. Delivery volume. The Delivery volume area gives you an overview of the delivery volume from the client. If desired, this can be evaluated as a total quantity or broken down into the various channels. E-commerce. If you operate your own online store and this is linked to Promio.connect, you can easily view incoming orders or product information as well as shopping baskets, sales, and other key figures via the e-commerce dashboard. Suitable data sources can also be derived from the purchase information, which can then be used for individual product display in your newsletters. Delivery. The Delivery menu contains all the functions and menu items used to prepare and create campaigns as well as for scheduling and delivery monitoring. It is divided into the areas Drafts, Scheduler, and Queue. Drafts. Under Drafts, you can access existing campaign drafts or create new campaigns from scratch. A campaign is always the basis for sending an email newsletter or a message from another channel such as SMS, app push, or web push to your target group. Scheduler. You can use the scheduler to set up recurring mailing events as so-called scheduler events. A good example of this is a morning news newsletter at 10 a.m., which is sent automatically via Promio.connect. Once set up, the campaign is then automatically created and sent out every day at 10 a.m. with the latest news and the previously defined target group. Manual intervention is no longer necessary. Queue. In the Queue menu item, you will find planned and ongoing shipping processes. You can view the progress of these processes and pause or cancel delivery if necessary. Addresses. All address management functions can be found in the Addresses area. These include functions such as address imports, address generation, filter functions, and address research, as well as various list functions for selection, filtering, or doublet matching. The menu area is divided into an address dashboard for an initial overview, lists, interfaces, research, doublet tool, and filter. Address dashboard. The address dashboard provides you with various information about your address data. This includes the last 10 registered opt-ins in your client, the current status and the development of your address database, an opt-in history over time, and the distribution within your data on age, gender, email domains, and bounces. Lists. The list section is divided into the submenu items target groups, newsletter, opt-ins, block lists, temporary blacklists, email negative list, and domain negative list. In the target groups area, you will see a list of all target groups that you have created in your client. A basic distinction can be made between static target groups, which can optionally be write protected, and auto-target groups, which are marked with 2 circling arrows. Within this target group area, you have various functionalities to create, select, clean, delete, filter, or merge target groups, among other things. Newsletter. The newsletter area is a functional level that you can use to manage subscriptions and unsubscriptions to addresses from target groups. Subscribers are entered in a target group and unsubscribers are removed from a target group. No blacklist, unsubscribed list is kept for this procedure. However, there is of course a history of subscriptions and unsubscriptions. To use the unsubscribe procedure in a campaign, a newsletter assignment must be made in the campaign settings. Opt-ins. The opt-in area gives you a quick overview of the distribution of address data to different channels if available. Block lists. The block lists area is also a functional level for handling unsubscribers. Here, unsubscribers as well as other addresses can be entered on separate block lists to exclude them from future mailings. These block lists can then be used flexibly by assigning a client to a campaign for a mailing. Temporary blacklists. Temporary blacklists can be used to selectively exclude data from campaign mailings. This exclusion data does not necessarily have to be part of your client's address list. This means that data can be excluded very flexibly. Email blacklist. The email blacklist is a client-wide blacklist for your client. Email addresses that are entered on this list can no longer be contacted via your client or re-imported or updated. It is therefore the most consistent solution to exclude addresses from being sent. Domain blacklist. The domain blacklist blocks entire domains, which means that the affected addresses can no longer be contacted via your client. As a large number of addresses may be affected by an entry here, entries here should be considered very carefully. To return from the submenu area of the lists, click on the arrow next to Overview. Interfaces. In the Interfaces section, you have the option of setting up interfaces for double opt-in or single opt-in procedures for address registrations. These interfaces can be accessed via the REST API or via promio.connect's own form generator for registration forms. Legally compliant address generation is very easy using the double opt-in procedure and the intuitive form generator. Research. In the Research section, you can research all information and details on address data in your client. This includes personal data, target group affiliation histories or mailing histories, affiliations to blacklists, and, if an e-commerce connection is available, information on recent orders or recommendations. Doublet tool. You can use the doublet tool to compare target groups with each other as required in order to determine overlap-free quantities between target groups. The quantities selected in this way can also be saved directly as target groups. Filters. The filter section allows you to define system-wide filters. Filters can be set and combined for personal data, response data, target group affiliations, and histories. The filters created and saved there can then be used in the target group campaigns under addresses and lists, as well as in the mailing process and in auto campaigns. Content. The content area contains all system areas and functions that are fundamentally necessary in preparation for the creation of content. The area is divided into the submenu items templates, master templates, media browser, voucher code lists, RSS feeds, and data sources. Master templates. In the master templates area, you can create your own master templates and call up master templates created individually for you by promio.connect. Master templates are a kind of basic construction kit that contains all layout modules and from which messages and templates can be created later. Layout modules can be, for example, headers, editorials, image text combinations, banners, or footer elements. Templates. In the templates area, you can create templates by saving any combination of layout modules. Templates allow you to create new campaigns and thus newsletter mailings quickly, as you can start with a previously defined set of layout modules. Templates can be created and subsequently edited as required and, in addition to the actual creation of campaigns, are also used in the scheduler function described above. Media browser. In the media browser function area, you can upload files that you need for your mailings. These can be image files for the content, for example, or files that you would like to link to in the content of your message. You can also create directories within the media browser to structure your files clearly. Coupon code lists. Under coupon code lists, you can upload coupon codes as a CSV file, which can then be linked to campaigns. In this way, individual coupon codes from the lists can be automatically displayed for each recipient in the content of your newsletter using a variable. RSS feeds. The RSS section allows you to integrate your own RSS feeds into promio.connect and then use them for campaigns and content creation. Data sources. Data sources are also a way of having information from external data sources prepared and then using this data in the content of your messages. Data sources cannot be created by yourself, but must be created by the promio.connect service in consultation with you. Settings. The settings area is basically a more administrative menu area that can be used to make various basic settings. It contains the area's domains, from addresses, API, test delivery list, job queue, SSH keys, and URL replacement. Domains. In the domains section, new delivery and redirect domains can be connected, which must first be registered with your internet service provider. The delivery domain is required for the sender addresses, whereas the redirect domain is required for click tracking. From addresses. New from addresses based on the previously created domains can be created under from addresses. In addition to real names, settings for reply to addresses or sending limits per hour are also possible for the from addresses. API. In the API section, it is possible to generate API keys for using the REST API. In addition to the activation of IPs, log files of the last API requests and a link to the API documentation can also be viewed here. Test delivery list. New personalized test addresses can be created under test delivery lists. These can be personalized by entering personal data and grouped by assigning clients to test delivery lists and then used for personalized test mailings. Job queue. In the job queue area, you can view jobs that have been outsourced to the background, for example for target group imports. This allows you to keep an eye on whether processes have run without errors or whether there were problems during processing. SSH keys. The SSH keys section manages the access parameters for using the SFTP server. An SFTP server, which is primarily used for the secure storage of personal data, is provided in every promio.connect client. URL replacement. In the URL replacement area, you can define basic rules for your client on how link tracking and parameter forwarding should be handled for certain URLs. For example, if it is fundamentally desired that a click on certain URLs should not be included in a report. Icons above the main menu. Administration. Via the administration icon above the main menu, depending on the role or authorization in the system, settings can be made in the personal user account for system language, password settings, tracking and notifications, as well as settings for the client itself with regard to new user accounts and settings for roles and rights via the access control item. The system language can be switched between German and English via the language section. Under security, the set password can be renewed and, if desired, two-factor authentication can be configured. Under Tracking, you can optionally activate anonymized tracking of system usage. This is used to anonymously record the system usage of Promio.connect in order to further improve the Promio.connect platform. In the Notifications area, you can register subscriptions to various system areas in order to be informed of events in these areas via notifications in Promio.connect. Calendar. The Calendar function gives you a quick overview of the various events that take place in your client. Here you can easily see the type and number of events per day, such as imports, exports, or delivery processes. Notifications. You can use notifications to be automatically informed about changes or events in your client. The message is sent as a notification directly in Promio.connect, and new messages are marked with a number on the bell icon, which describes the number of notifications. The system areas you are notified about depend on the subscriptions you have selected and, of course, on the system areas you have access to via your role. Help. The Help area provides access to the Promio.connect wiki, which contains wiki articles for all system areas and functions. The corresponding help articles for the current system area are displayed in the Help. You can also create service tickets in the Tickets tab and get help with your questions and concerns. Other areas include the News section, which reports on new features and functions, as well as a changelog and a training schedule for upcoming Promio.connect training courses. Logout. Use the Logout button to leave Promio.connect and log out.